door. I might get behind. Don't forget a hat. Welcome folks, Slipknot here. I got my good friend Kyle with me today. I'm finally cool on Instagram. We only got the road glide for about another 48 hours and we need to take it through some of its paces. So we're going down our testing grounds at Aaron Cutoff. Also, the street rod's here, so we're gonna borrow that and see how that does too. I do. Isn't that a good idea? So I don't do the Aaron Cutoff lap as much as Kyle does. He is way more used to it than I am. But it's just the anticipation builds and builds as we get closer and closer. And I'm like, come on, are we there yet? Like, it always seems like it's so much closer than it is. But then when you get there, it gets to be a lot of fun. It's our little test track. It's our little, what was the Top Gear track called? I don't remember. But yeah, it's like our own little personal test gear track for motorcycles. I know. Before you even start typing, you don't know what twisties are, boy. I never said these were like all mountain ranges and stuff. This is just like a couple of turns to give it a good little test ride. That was neutral. I think I can. Dun, 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 dun. This thing's keeping up. I'm impressed. That's pretty rad. Not bad, little rod. Not bad. This motorcycle feels like it weighs 60 pounds. I swear to God. It's light. The handlebars just fall. This should be a very interesting and fun time going down Aaron Cutoff. I'm actually starting to get a little bit more excited about the street rod than I am the freaking... Well, before I got murdered by a school bus, I was about to say I'm getting a little bit more excited about riding the street rod down there and cut off than I am. Bike hop, fuzz, every time. I don't know why. I always miss neutral. Doesn't matter what bike I'm on. Don't say it's this bike. Don't say it's that bike. It happens on every bike I've ever ridden on. For whatever reason, when kicking in a second, I never kick high enough. I don't know when that started happening, but it's only been over the last 2 years. I feel like everybody's gonna complain about the bar end mirrors. I am a huge fan of bar end mirrors. I always feel like I can see way more of what's going on around me. Man, this motorcycle can get it. Lots of noise for little payoff. As we approach Aaron Cutoff, we're getting nice and close to it. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Harley Davidson for allowing me to borrow my 2017 street glide that Kyle's on and this 2019 street rod that he let Shay Lisi borrow. Go over to her channel, check it out. She's going to be doing a review on it. She's probably going to do it way more justice than I will. I'm just playing with it for now. Go check it out, folks. Yep, this be it. All right. So the very first time I rode this motorcycle was in the last video where I did a burnout on it. Yeah, that was fun. But instantly, as soon as it took off and I felt the motorcycle, these handlebars are extremely light. It feels like there's no resistance to them. I don't know how it's gonna handle in turns. After being on a street glide and a road glide, I really do enjoy the weight for the resistance. But now I feel like not having that much weight and the amount of knowledge that I've gained from riding big backers like that, I feel like it's going to translate a lot to smaller, more nimble motorcycles, which is why I was so pushy with Kyle about getting out here today, because I want to get this done before I have to give it back. I haven't been this pushy about riding and doing weird stuff and doing twisties and, you know, turns and stuff in a very long time, because it's never really interested in me. This is now interesting. It's now being able to have this knowledge under my belt, the differences between all these motorcycles and how they function, between weight differences and handlebar lengths, realizing that I like a longer, wider handlebar now because of the leverage you gain from it. The conversation that Josh and I had a while back ago, what happened was I didn't like wider handlebars, mainly because it was too much leverage and I had just come off of an accident and my shoulder was still very weak. So when it was shorter handlebars, I had the ability to compensate with the other one without having to put too much weight on one. But check the gas before I left. It looked like I had a lot more than it did. I guess not. So, good thing is there's a freaking gas station at the beginning of Aaron Cutoff. So, we're basically going to go back and reset and start over again.
Can you go back to that gas station? I can start there?
Yeah, it looked like I had way more gas.
Alright, we're right there.
Good news is we're going to start over. This bike's rad. It's one of those things. I don't know how to explain this. There's a moment when I'm doing these back roads with Kyle and all my friends where I get so lost in my brain that I forget that I'm paying attention to the road, which sounds way worse than it is, but surprisingly, there's just great moments of like almost a center within my soul, the little that I have left. But like it's just kind of like you just kind of become one with the world and just do what you do, and you're just kind of like, there's a few moments in life where I can solitarily focus on one thing, and it almost becomes a meditation where I'm focusing on one thing, which is writing and paying attention to what's going on. I'm so focused on it that my brain kind of like, as a muscle relaxes, like it just kind of like woosa, it just kind of like lets go of the tension. You know, it's like it's trying to hold the whole world with one finger while letting the rest of your hand just kind of like let go. Yes, it's a lot here, but you're just kind of like, okay, all right, let's grab back on, see what's going on. I don't know, man. It's a weird philosophical thing. It happens to me every so often. I apologize, guys. Bikers, boobs, beers, yeah, stuff like that. But this morning it's just kind of like, ooh, it's such a weird flow to it at times. And again, beginning of Aaron Cutoff, there's a gas station. Thank God. That hole just gets worse and worse. Sorry about that. It's just to get the start over. Gassed up and ready to roll. Come on. Take two. In the grand scheme of the world, I'm really a nobody. For the folks that are here and that really enjoy my content, thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. I really appreciate the loyalty you guys have shown me. But, you know, there's people out there that have 90 million subscribers. Not that I'm trying to do that, but, you know, it's the truth. From near 16,000 subscribers, which is way more than I ever thought I'd have in 2 years. Being able to have the privilege of borrow these motorcycles and allow my friends to borrow these motorcycles while I have them, yes, I know, it's my responsibility of fault. It's a huge, heavy burden for me. I don't like it. But it's one of those things where, like, I know Kyle would probably never be on that bike if it wasn't for the situation that I'm in. And I know how much he likes that bike and how much he's really curious about that bike, and being able to give my friends the experiences that I have as well, where it becomes a huge community, which is a huge part of the whole Brapstar philosophy, where it's all-inclusive. Just be yourself. That's why my basic catchphrase at this point in my life is just, you do you, man. These are my opinions, and take them for what they are. Maybe it's a second thought when you're doing something, but it's not a final word. You do what is best for you. I'm there to support you. I'm there to be a part of it. I'm there to help out whatever I can. Kyle has been a huge help and support over the last 2 years. And the little that I can do to help out my friend is just fantastic, and it's cool as hell, man. It's just freaking rad. The fact that we have this weird stable of motorcycles and a rotation of them that we can all experience is so much fun. Because again, variety is just a spice of life, man. Also, the fact that Aaron Cutoff is so close to the shop makes it super cool too, because we get to really put these things through their paces. I mean, it's 6 gear. Does it have 5 gears? How many gears does this thing have? I'm not even paying attention anymore. Just woosahing through this. Ah, what a good day. It's been a good month. This is the best December I've ever had. December, I always get really bad like seasonal depression in December. I always just kind of retreat from social interactions and just kind of go in my corner unless I have to work. Like I always just kind of like, again, being Jewish, when it came to December, I was always the guy who was working Christmas. I took as many shifts as I could. I just kind of retracted from the world and just kind of autopilot through it. It's been a fun month. It's been a great month. It's been, you know, between the groups of friends and just having fun, riding motorcycles, doing dumb shit. Is this what everybody calls throttle therapy? I don't like it. The soul just bleeds out the nose. Sporting clays, we need to come Kyle. I need to go through some guns. And archery! Oh, I'm in. Let's do this. I didn't know they had archery there too. My two favorite sports, sporting clays and archery. Come on, Carl, we gotta go. Gotta go. Go. End of the line, boys. I wonder if Kyle wants to do a speed run real quick. Want to do a speed run?
Yeah. We'll just turn around the next
Yeah.
You go first. That was a fun run. Now let's see what the street glide can do on Aaron Cutoff. Let's see what I can do on the street glide on Aaron Cutoff. That thing is too much fun. Be careful. Don't have too much fun. Man, that was, oh, dude, going from that to this, it's like going from what I'm used to and what I typically like to like this thing. I got acclimated to the small bike thing real quick again, and now I'm back on this thing. That's like, oh yeah, that's right, we're doing this. I don't want to make it sound like I'm like disappointed in it, but there's a lack of thrill involved a bit. Where it's like, it's a little dicey. It's like the difference between driving a manual car and an automatic. You're doing the same thing, but in the manual, you're kind of more focused on what you're doing. You're more in tune with the car. You're shifting, you're listening to the RPMs, you're feeling the vibration of the engine, you're working through how it feels to stay in tune to what's going on. You're more focused on driving, and that's how I felt on this thing, where it's like, this one, I'm like, all right. Hang back, hang out. I mean, still a fantastic motorcycle, which I just want to go ride my Bonneville now that I think about it.
Man, that reminded me about how much I enjoy these small motorcycles. It's very strange to be on a street glide looking at a street rod and just like fawning over it, like, oh, that was fun. This is more also the buffeting sucks right now. This is awful, but here we are. Alright, street glide. Let's take some turns. Trying to get out of the way of the wind, but it's just, oh, that's awful. I need to focus on the street glide and not how much I miss the street rod. Yes, sir, she can get it. Oh, man, it's a good morning. Man, if all mornings started off like this, I might be waking up earlier. Typically, they don't. I know I'm supposed to be reviewing the straight rod and how the straight rod handles in these scenarios, but I feel like this is more of a review of me and my capabilities, where I just feel way more comfortable pushing just that much further, just a little bit more, just an extra push, just an extra mile an hour. Gaining a little bit of confidence in myself in this scenario. It's awesome, but it's new. Maybe just, you know, trying to relax a little bit more in life. Are we at the end already? Oh man, I was having fun. Dealing with these largest motorcycles in the last couple weeks, it's just made me have to build that confidence. You can't just get on a motorcycle this size and be polite about it. You have to be there, you have to push, you have to deal with the weight. It makes you cope with what it is, and it makes you okay with what it is, and it makes it easier to deal with situations you're not comfortable in, which I very much appreciate. Thank you, large motorcycles. Man, that was fun. That was a good run. I'm really happy we did that. I'm really happy we went out of our way to make this happen today. Meet you all back at BSG. We'll have more of a conversation when we get there. Well, hours of editing a 20-minute long video to find out that the last 2 minutes of your video is just complete garbage and useless because of just audio problems and whatever the hell else. Here we are. The short and skinny of the situation is Kyle pretty much hated the street rod. I really had fun on it. I really enjoyed it. I know it's not the best Harley. I know it's not the fastest Harley. It was just fun. It was a fun bike to take around turns. It's just like a light bike. Kyle didn't like it because he felt cramped on it. He's used to being inside the motorcycle, where I kind of like being on it between the Bonneville and even my 48, when it originally was more of a drag bike, I guess, kind of like style or whatever they had. I wasn't really like in the bike. Regardless of which, I had a lot of fun riding around that morning. It really want to do it again with the next bike, which is right there. We're probably gonna end up doing air and cutoff again. It's just kind of the thing that we do, which is our little personal run. There's a food spot that we heard about, which is right down the street from it, so we're probably gonna be hitting that soon. But on that note, guys, this is where I'm gonna end it. You know how this works. Do not forget to like this video. Do not forget to subscribe. And as always, tell them deals. Catch you on the flip side.